Never ask Allah for patience, because He may send you a test. You may have heard that warning before. And surprisingly, there is a Hasan narration in which the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, heard a man ask Allah for patience and replied, "You have asked Allah for trial, so ask Him for afiyah." But does this mean asking for patience causes hardship? Did your dua create the difficulty that came afterward? No, and misunderstanding this hadith can turn dua, something meant to connect you to Allah, into something you fear. The narration appears in Jami at-Tirmidhi. Mu'adh ibn Jabal reported that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, heard a man saying, "O Allah, I ask you for patience." The Prophet directed him to ask Allah for afiyah instead. Afiyah means far more than simply feeling comfortable. It includes safety, protection, health, and well-being in your faith, body, family, and worldly life. The Prophet was teaching the man to ask for the more complete blessing. Do not wish for hardship merely so you can prove your patience. Ask Allah to protect you from harm. And when a test has already reached you, ask Him for the strength to respond faithfully. That distinction changes everything. The Hadith does not say that one request for patience automatically produces a calamity. Dua is not a trap, and Allah is not waiting for you to phrase something imperfectly so He can punish you with it. Trials are already part of life in this world. They occur by Allah's decree and wisdom, not because an innocent sentence escaped your lips at the wrong moment. Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 155, "We will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and a loss of wealth and lives and fruits, but give good tidings to the patient." Notice that Allah says with something of these difficulties. The test is measured even when it feels chaotic to us, and the verse does not end with the loss. It turns our attention toward the response of the patient. But what does patience actually look like? Many people imagine Sabr as doing nothing, silently absorbing pain, refusing help, and pretending not to hurt. That is not the complete Islamic meaning. Sabr is restraint with direction. It is continuing to obey Allah when obedience becomes difficult. It is resisting sin when sin looks like the fastest escape. And it is controlling your response to hardship without denying your pain. You can be patient and still cry. You can be patient and ask someone trustworthy for help. You can be patient and visit a doctor, search for work, leave a harmful situation, defend your rights, or admit that you are struggling. Patience does not require emotional numbness. It requires you not to let pain sever your relationship with Allah or drive you toward what He has forbidden. In Sahih al-Bukhari, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, taught that whoever strives to remain patient, Allah will bestow patience upon them, and that no one is given a gift better and more expansive than patience. Notice the action, whoever strives. Patience is not always a peaceful feeling. Sometimes it is a decision you make again every few minutes. Not to send the message written in anger. Not to earn money through something prohibited when fear tells you there is no alternative. Not to abandon prayer because your dua has not been answered in the way you expected. Not to assume that hardship means Allah hates you. Ease alone is not proof of Allah's pleasure, just as hardship alone is not proof of His anger. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said in another Hasan narration recorded by at-Tirmidhi, "Indeed, greater reward comes with greater trial, and when Allah loves a people, He tests them." This does not mean we should seek suffering or romanticize it. It does not give us permission to look at another person's tragedy and claim to know exactly why Allah allowed it. It means that being tested is not evidence of being abandoned. The prophets were tested. The righteous were tested. People beloved to Allah experienced loss, illness, fear, rejection, and grief. So when hardship arrives, a more useful question than "why me?" may be, how do I respond in a way that brings me closer to Allah? A test can expose what comfort allowed us to ignore. It may reveal where we placed our deepest dependence. It can soften a distracted heart, erase sins, raise a believer's rank, or redirect a life. We may recognize some wisdom later. Some may remain hidden from us in this life. But Allah has not left us without guidance for the moment we are living now. First, return to prayer before you feel ready. Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 153, "Seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient." Prayer is not a reward for already feeling strong. It is one of the places where strength begins. Second, ask Allah for afiyah. Ask Him to protect your faith, heal what has been harmed, forgive you, and bring you safely through what you cannot control. Wanting relief is not weakness. The Prophet taught us to ask for well-being. Third, take the lawful means available to you. Make the call, attend the appointment, create the budget, seek qualified counsel, apologize where you were wrong, establish a boundary where harm continues. Trust in Allah does not mean abandoning action. It means knowing that no action succeeds independently of Him. Fourth, reduce the test to the next faithful step. You may not have the strength to imagine enduring another year. You may not need that strength today. You need enough for the next prayer, the next honest conversation, the next temptation you refuse, the next morning in which you rise and try again. This is how patience is often lived, not as one heroic moment, but as hundreds of quiet choices that only Allah fully sees. After mentioning fear, hunger, and loss, Allah describes the patient as those who say when calamity strikes, "Indeed, we belong to Allah, and indeed to Him we will return." This is not an empty phrase. It reminds the heart that we belong to Allah before the test, we belong to Him during it, and we will return to Him after it. What we possess was entrusted to us, and nothing endured for His sake disappears without reward. The following verse says that these people receive blessings and mercy from their Lord, and that they are rightly guided. The hardship is real, but it is not the only thing arriving. Mercy can arrive with it, guidance can emerge through it, and reward may be waiting beyond what you can presently see. So should you ask Allah for patience? Ask Allah for forgiveness and afiyah, protection and well-being in this life and the next. Do not seek trials or treat suffering as the goal. When hardship has already reached you, ask Him for patience, firmness, wisdom, and a response that pleases Him. Then strive to practice that patience, trusting the promise that Allah grants it to those who sincerely strive. And never believe that one innocent dua tricked you into your pain. Allah knows the need beneath your words. He knows the fear you could not explain and the exhaustion you hide from everyone else. Your test is not proof that He has left you. The fact that you are still turning back to Him may itself be one of the clearest signs that He is carrying you through it. May Allah grant us afiyah, protect us from trials that overwhelm us, and grant us beautiful patience whenever hardship reaches us. If this corrected something you had heard about patience, share it with someone who may be quietly blaming themselves for a trial, and subscribe to Quran and Sunnah Guide for carefully sourced reminders from the Quran and authentic Sunnah.